Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time joining my channel and you are on a healing journey as an empath, you are in the right space. I'm here sharing my path from being an unhealthy, unhealed empath to becoming a grounded, empowered one. If this is the kind of content that resonates with you, just make sure to subscribe so we can grow and heal together. Okay, so now let's talk about something most empaths experience but don't always understand. And that is the toxic things we attract when we haven't yet healed. I thought I'd make this quick video because this was on my mind. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe you guys want to hear these things so you can identify what type of energy you project outwards and what gets drawn in. So for example, if you're constantly getting drained from people or family or just different situations, work, and you feel drained, you feel used or stuck in an emotional loop, if people always come to you with their problems, but they disappear when you need support, you might be attracting that from unhealed energy. So today, I'm sharing 10 toxic things unhealthy empaths attract and why this awareness is the first step to breaking the cycle. Now, before I get into the toxic things, the list, just note this is not going to be a long video. So if you have a pen and paper, pull out your pen and paper if you want to jot it down, or you can, reflect and come back to it if you ever need to. But before I get into that, I just wanted to really make you understand that the 10 things I'm about to list is not about you specifically. Like, you're not going out with this stamp on your forehead. Maybe it's invisible, but it's not like a clear stamp. It's just like the energy that is being projected from the things that you're not aware that aren't healed within yourself. So, energy is transferable. And energy you can't see with your naked eye. So everything that you can't see, has a pull and a projection. Just like, when you feel like a magnet, you really can't see that it's magnet, but you could feel it. So it's kind of like you can't see the magnet when you put it against another magnet, but you can feel the pull that it has towards each other. Or like if there's a special connection out there, you're like, oh, I just feel like she was like a magnet to me, or or we just came together like a magnet, right? So it's kind of like that. So don't get offended if in this video when I say that I'm talking about myself too, attract unhealthy empaths, how we attract 10 toxic things. Okay, just wanted to give a little disclaimer. Okay, so let's go really, really quick. All right, so the first thing is energy vampires. I guess I would assume that would be the first thing, right? Energy vampires. These are people who feed off of your emotions and attention, and they leave you mentally and spiritually exhausted. So I'm sure we're all familiar with energy vampires and what they do. The next one, number 2. Oh, and if you're not sure what an energy vampire does, I may make an in-depth video just off of energy vampires. But if not, you can always Google it. Go on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and look for tags, and you'll see many different topics on and examples of what an energy vampire is. But for the sake of time, I'm going to just go through the list, and then in the future I will piece out each one and go in depth if that makes sense, because I don't want this video to turn into an hour video. Okay, so like I said, number 1 is energy vampires. Number 2, narcissists. The big narcissist, that's what's trending at right now. We see a lot of narcissistic traits and narcissistic personality disorder on social media, and there's just a lot of information about it now, especially the self-aware narcissist. If you haven't been familiar with that, go to TikTok and type in self-aware narcissist, and you'll see a thread in a rabbit hole of narcissists that come out to explain their MPD and what they do. Okay, so a narcissist, they're master manipulators who love your empathy, but use it to control, to blame, or gaslight you. So they need, and they usually, are drawn to empaths, and empaths attract narcissists. That's one of the things empaths do so good. An unhealthy empath, they attract narcissists. And let's be clear, I love to make sure we understand the difference. An empath that is healthy is not going to, they're going to have their boundaries up, they're going to have their shield up, and they're going to be very aware of a narcissist, and they're not usually open the way an unhealthy empath is. Okay, so number 3, chronic takers. People who always need something like your time, your energy, help, but they really give you anything back. And I spoke more in depth on this when I did the video, The Struggles Empaths Face, I believe, in the family dynamic or friendship dynamic, one of them, or even both. I could have mentioned that this is also something that happens, to empaths. Chronic takers. Okay, number 4, codependent relationships, where your worth feels tied to helping, fixing, or staying even when it's hurting you. When you're overcompensating and you're, for example, many people have suffered from, at one time, or not everyone, but there was a moment in history or in Earth where people were, they had family members who had addictions, and you see always one family member that tries to keep it together, and she or he, they feel like maybe they're not enabling, they just want their family member to be okay, so they just stay and try to fix it, even though that family member that is having their addiction is doing things to harm or to cause inconvenience to the family member that's helping. Okay, so number 5. Hold on, let me get some water, guys. I need water. Talking a lot makes you a little parched. Okay, so number 5, emotional chaos. Emotional chaos. Unhealed empaths often attract drama, and not because we want it, because we don't want the drama, but because it mirrors our inner wounds or childhood dynamics. So it tends to just gravitate towards us. Number 6, boundary breakers. These are people who test your limits. They push your no, or they make you feel guilty for protecting your peace. So you go set up a boundary, and here goes cousin Miguel or cousin Erica coming in to negotiate. They don't want to hear a boundary. They are going to negotiate you down like they're pushing to break a contract. So boundary breakers are always one of the types of people that unhealthy empaths tend to attract. Number 7, toxic work environment, toxic workplaces. Jobs where you're emotionally overused, spiritually undervalued, and silently suffering to keep the peace. And you know what I want to add to what I noticed, and I'm going to add this in my next video about the struggles empaths face with the work environment, is that we tend to attract people that are micromanagers. Micromanagers tend to be attracted to empaths, well, unhealthy empaths, I'll say. And if you really think about it, it correlates. And one thing empaths don't like is micromanagers, okay? And I'll get in depth, like I said, in another video. Number 8, spiritually manipulative people, the ones who use healing language to guilt you. A real empath will understand. If you were more spiritual, you forgive me. Okay? And that goes into the boundaries and the things that people tend to want to break, like those boundary breakers. So spiritually manipulative people want to give you something to feel guilty about. Number 9, karmic loops. That same lessons, but just with different people until you finally learn to choose yourself. So if you've ever heard yourself say, wow, I tend to meet the same type of guy or the same type of woman, those are karmic loops. And until you choose yourself, until you heal and admit and take acknowledgement and accountability that there's some help needed, then you will stop attracting those karmic loops. And one of the things that we tend to do before I get to number 10, we tend to always think that because we're a good person or because we forgive and do all these things, that these things shouldn't affect us in that way. Like we shouldn't run into these type of people. But this is very much the mission. And when you are unhealed empath, you are going to run into this a million times until you decide that being an empath doesn't mean being weak. Being an empath doesn't mean being a doormat. You know, being empathetic and loving and kind and forgiving doesn't mean that you have to put other people before yourself. All right, empath, I hope you're getting this. And last but not least, number 10, self-neglect and guilt. I'm going to say that again, self-neglect and guilt. The belief that your needs are too much, the loving yourself is selfish, and that healing can wait. You know, people that tend to, especially narcissists, they believe that loving yourself is selfish and you should be loving them more. And that healing, who needs that, right? But healing is important. How are we ever going to, have an evolution of consciousness if we are still staying stuck in the same cycles, right? So healing can never wait. I'm always open to healing. So my beautiful souls, if any of this hit close to home, I really want you to know that you are not broken. You are not weak. You are doing the best that you can. You're becoming aware, and that's most powerful, because healing, it doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with seeing the truth and choosing yourself. And I'm going to say that one more time. Healing doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with seeing the truth and choosing yourself. Okay? So please, 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 please note that. Okay, guys, so please comment below if you've experienced any of these toxic patterns that I mentioned, or if you're just working on breaking free. And don't forget to subscribe for weekly content on empath healing, spiritual boundaries, and self-worth, and much more. And remember, empaths, you are not alone. You're a beautiful soul. You are just becoming who you were always meant to be. Ciao.